My name is Daniel Harper, and this happened in October of 2022 in a small neighborhood just outside of Cedar Ridge, Ohio. Cedar Ridge isn't the kind of place where things like this happen. It's quiet, mostly families, a few retirees, tree-lined streets, the kind of town where people still wave when they drive past you. I had been living on Maple Hollow Drive for about 3 years. My house sat directly across from an older property that had recently gone up for sale in the old Parker house. The owner had passed away earlier that year, and since then the place had been empty. The grass had grown uneven and wild. The mailbox leaned slightly forward like it was tired of standing. No lights ever came on inside. At first, it was just another empty house, until Mrs. Benson knocked on my door. She lived next to me, early 70s, sharp memory, not the dramatic type. It was raining that night, around 10:30 p.m. I remember because I had just turned off a football game and was heading to bed. She looked shaken. "Daniel," she said quietly, "there's someone in that garden again." I almost laughed, not at her, but at the idea. "Again?" She nodded. "I saw him last night too, by the fence, just standing there." I grabbed a flashlight and stepped outside with her. Rain fell steadily, soaking through my hoodie almost instantly. We crossed the street together. The Parker yard was dark, except for the weak glow of the streetlight at the corner. Bushes rustled slightly in the wind. I scanned the yard with the flashlight. Nothing. No one. Just rain. I told her it was probably an animal, maybe a stray dog or raccoon. The bushes were thick enough to make shadows look strange. She didn't argue, but she didn't look convinced either. Over the next 3 nights, she called me twice more. Same story. Someone near the fence, someone crouching, someone watching. Every time I checked, nothing. Until Friday night. It was just after midnight. The rain had returned, heavier than before. I was in the kitchen getting water when something outside caught my eye. Movement. I stepped closer to the window. There, in the far corner of the Parker garden, exactly where Mrs. Benson had described, was a figure, not moving, crouched low, facing my house. My first thought was that it had to be a trick of the light. But then the figure slowly stood up. It was definitely a person, wearing dark clothing, hood up, no umbrella despite the rain. And then, I swear on everything, he turned his head and looked directly at me. Not glowing eyes, not anything supernatural, just a man, watching. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I stepped back instinctively and bumped into the kitchen chair. When I looked again, he was gone. I ran to the front door and switched on the porch light. The yard was empty. The next morning, I found footprints in the wet grass near the fence, adult-sized, clear enough that it couldn't have been an animal. That's when I started to feel something worse than fear. I felt chosen, like whoever it was wasn't just wandering. He was watching me. 2 days later, I opened my front door to grab the newspaper and saw something on the floor. A folded piece of paper, no envelope, just a sheet torn from a notebook. 3 words written in thick black ink. "You saw me." My hand started shaking immediately. I looked across the street, and there he was, standing again in the same corner of the Parker yard, perfectly still, as if he had been waiting for me to read it. That's when I called the police. They arrived within 10 minutes. 2 patrol cars. They searched the empty house first. Nothing. Doors still locked from the realtor's last showing. No signs of forced entry. Then they checked the yard. Flashlights scanned the bushes. One officer called out to someone, but no answer came. They did find fresh footprints leading toward the fence, but strangely, none leading away. The officer told me someone probably jumped over and ran through the woods behind the property. Maybe, but here's the part that still bothers me. 2 weeks later, Mrs. Benson moved out. She didn't say much when she left, just that she didn't feel safe anymore. A month after that, I moved too. I couldn't sleep properly. Every small sound outside felt deliberate. Every passing car felt like someone slowing down. I never found out who that man was. The police never caught anyone, but sometimes when it rains at night, especially when I'm near a window, I get this overwhelming feeling that somewhere in some dark yard across the street, someone is standing perfectly still, watching